Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today I am again with you people with another class for class 12th. As you know, we are dealing with magnetism and magnetic effects of current. Yesterday we gave you the introduction of magnetism and magnetic field, who introduced it, and today we are going. And yesterday we also discussed Biot-Savart law, and today we will discuss its first application. We use this Biot-Savart law to find the magnetic field due to a long straight wire carrying current. We have a wire in which a current is flowing. Consider a long straight conductor XY carrying current I in the direction from X to Y. Let P be a point at a perpendicular distance R from the straight conductor. Consider a small current element CD of length dl. We choose a small length of this long wire, which is infinitesimally long. We should choose a small element CD dl. CD, its length is small, very small, that is dl. Let x be the position vector of point P, as you can see from the fig, with respect to CD, and theta be the angle between dl and x, as you can see from the fig. Now, according to Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field injection dB, you can also call it magnetic flux dB or magnetic field simply. So, magnetic field dB at point P due to current element dl is given by dB in vector form. If it is in vector form, it is given by dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross x, I dl cross x by x cube. You can use Biot-Savart law. Instead of r, we use x here. Instead of small r, we use x here because we have to calculate the magnetic field from small element dl. So we use x instead of r. In Biot-Savart law, we use r, and here we use x. And the magnitude of the magnetic field is given by dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sine theta by x square. It will become I dl x by x cube. X and x will cancel, so there will be only x square in the denominator. In vector form, in the denominator we have x cube, and in its magnitude we have only x square because one x will cancel with the x given above. Let L be the distance of the element CD from the foot of the perpendicular drawn from point P on the wire. That is, let L is the length here. It is L from O to DL. It is L from O to DL is the length L. It is from O to DL. So let L be the distance of the element CD from the foot. Foot is O here. Foot is O of the perpendicular drawn from point P on the wire. Then from fig B, we can see, you can do it yourself, sine theta, which is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse, so it will be r, small r by x. Small r by x. This implies x will be equal to r by sine theta. That is denoted by equation 2. Again, you can see from the fig tan theta, that is P by B, perpendicular by base, so that will be equal to small r by L. And this will imply L is equal to R by tan theta, or L is equal to R cot theta, because 1 by tan theta is equal to cot theta. So let us denote this by equation 3. Now when we differentiate equation 3, that is L with respect to theta, that is, we differentiate L with respect to theta, we get dl by d theta is equal to minus R. Actually, it will become R minus cosec square theta, because the differentiation of cot theta is minus cosec square theta. So dl by d theta will be equal to minus r cosec square theta. This implies dl is equal to minus r cosec square theta d theta. Now let us denote this equation by equation 4. Now when we substitute value of x from equation 2 and value of dl from equation 4, we get in equation first we get dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi 1 minus or cosec square theta d theta sin theta divided by r by sin theta the whole square. So this implies dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I minus r cosec square theta d theta sin theta divided by r square cosec square theta, because 1 by sin square theta is equal to cosec square theta. And this will finally imply that dB is equal to minus mu naught upon 4 pi r 1 I sin theta d theta. Let us denote this by equation 5. Now the magnitude of the total magnetic field B due to the entire wire, that is the wire of length infinitesimally long wire conductor of infinite length, is given by integrating equation 5. When we integrate, we get the total magnetic field. So integration of dB is equal to minus mu naught upon 4 pi r I integral of sin theta d theta, where we take the limits L tends to minus infinity to L tends to positive, because it, on the both sides it is infinitesimally long wire. So we have taken out of integral these minus mu naught 4 pi r and I, because they are constants. Current is constant flowing in the wire, constant current is flowing in the wire, pi is also constant, mu naught is also constant, r is also constant. We have taken them out of integral. This implies, so integration of dB is b, so b is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I theta is equal to pi to theta is equal to 0 sin theta. So when L tends to minus infinity, that time theta will tend to pi on the left side, and when theta tend L tends to plus infinity, theta will be tend to 0. I have derived it on the right side of here, you can see it. So this implies b is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I theta tends to pi to 0 sin theta d theta. So the integration of sin theta is minus cos theta. So this will be b is equal to minus mu naught upon 4 pi minus cos theta. Here we have limits pi and 0 on the right side of this bracket equation. Here on the brackets, above we have 0 and below we have pi. So b is equal to minus mu naught over 4 pi r minus cos theta limit to pi to 0. This implies b is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi cos theta. Again the limits are pi and 0. With limits pi and 0. So minus and minus will become plus. So there we have plus. This implies b is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi r I. Here we have we are missing I. There it is I. Mu naught upon 4 pi I and I. So also it is here. It is I. Okay. So then b will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi r I. We first give the upper limit cos 0 minus cos pi. So cos 0 is equal to 1 and cos pi is equal to minus 1. It is not I here, it is 1. Remember, this is cos 0 is equal to 1 and cos pi is equal to minus 1. So this will become b is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I into 2. So 2 and 4. This will become 2 mu naught upon 4 pi r into I. So this will be equal to, by cancelling 2 and 4, taking common factors of 2 and 4, we get mu naught. We get b is equal to mu naught I upon 2 pi r. This is the magnitude. So if you know the magnitude of the current flowing in the wire, suppose if the current flowing in the wire is 2 amperes, and you want to calculate the strength of the magnetic field, you want to calculate the magnitude of the magnetic field at point P, which is at a distance r. So suppose if r is 1 meter, then you substitute for r is equal to 1 meter. You substitute for I, say it is 2 ampere. If I is 2 ampere flowing in the wire, then 2 ampere of current is flowing in the wire. And if r, the point distance of point P from the wire is 2 meters, then you substitute for r is equal to 2 meters. And mu naught, you know that mu naught is constant, 2 is also constant, pi is also constant. You substitute the value of these, you can calculate the magnitude of magnetic field B. So if tomorrow a problem is given to you, you just have to know how much current is flowing in the wire, and at how much distance we have to calculate the magnitude of the magnetic field. Now the direction of the field due to this long, infinite long wire uh, can be obtained from the right hand rule, which states as: hold the wire, suppose the wire which is carrying current, hold it in your right hand so that the thumb points along the wire in the direction of the current, so that the thumb points along the wire in the direction of the current. Then the fingers, you can see it, if you instead of wire, you take the pen in your right hand, and if the thumb points in the direction of the current, then the fingers will encircle the wire. If you have a pen in your hand, then the fingers will encircle the pen in the direction of the magnetic lines of force. So these fingers will represent the magnetic lines of force. And then what we do, we draw the tangent to these magnetic lines of force to get the direction of the magnetic field. Now there is another topic. We have to calculate the magnetic field at the center of the current carrying circular loop. So instead of infinitesimally long straight conductor, we have a circular loop. So let us consider a circular loop, say coil of uniform wire. Uniform wire means its cross-sectional area is same at every wire. It is not thicker at any place or thinner at the other places. It is of the uniform circular cross section. So that when we say that uniform wire means its cross section is same at every point or every wire. So uniform wire carrying a current I, as shown in figure C, you can see that. Let A be the radius. Here we have from O to this. This is the radius. Let instead of R we have denote the radius by small e. So this is the radius of the loop. So A is the radius of the loop. Consider an infinitesimally small current element. Again, as in the case of straight conductor, we consider a small element CD of length dl. Now, according to Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field induction dB at the center O due to this small element dl is given by dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi. This is the magnitude. I have not written it in vector form here. You can write it yourself as in first case. If you want to write it, then dB will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross E. It will not be x here. It will be dl cross A by A cube in vector form. So it will become dl A sine theta. A and A will cancel. The magnitude will be equal to dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sine theta by A square. So instead of R we have here A. In the first case, in the case of long straight, instead of R we have X. So here we have A. The angle theta between, as you can see from the figure, angle theta between DL and A is 90 degree. Here this angle, it is 90 degree. So that sine 90 will be, sine theta will be equal to sine 90 and it will be equal to 1. The value of sine 90 is 1. This implies dB will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by A square. Mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by A square. So if we want to find the total magnetic field, what we have to integrate this equation. The magnitude of the total magnetic field B at the center of the circular loop due to the entire circular loop is given by integrating this equation. So integration of dB will be equal to mu naught I upon 4 pi A square dl. So what is dl? dl is the total length of the wire, and as it is in the form of a circle, so it will be equal to the circumference of the circle. So dl is equal to total length of the circular loop, that is 2 pi a, circumference of the circle. So that is equal to 2 pi a. We know that the circumference of the circle of radius r is given by 2 pi r. Here instead of r we have a, the radius of the circle is a. So it will be 2 pi a. This implies b will be equal to mu naught I upon 4 pi a square into 2 pi a. So you can cancel, taking the count factor of 2 and 4 and cancelling 1a and 1a. B will be equal to mu naught I upon 2a. Pi and pi will cancel. So mu naught B will be equal to mu naught I upon 2a. So if there is a coil of n turns, instead of one turn we had a one turn coil, now we have a coil of n turns. Then this will be multiplied by the equation first will be multiplied by n. So that the total magnetic field B will be equal to mu naught I n by 2a. So if you are asked to calculate the magnetic field at the center of the coil, what you will have to know, what you need how much current is flowing in the circular loop. Suppose if I is 2 amperes and if this coil has n turns, say 10 turns or 20 turns, so for n you can substitute 10. If I is 2 amperes and if the radius of circle small a, if that is equal to say 1 meter, then you can substitute the values and you can calculate the magnetic field at the center of the circular loop. Now what about the direction? The direction of the magnetic field at the center of the loop is given by right hand palm rule. In first case, in the case of straight conductor carrying current, the direction was given by right hand thumb rule, and in case of circular loop it is given by right hand palm rule. What you have what palm rule states? It states that you have to hold the thumb of your right hand. You have to take the right hand and then you have to hold the thumb of your right hand mutually perpendicular to the grip of the fingers. Grip of the fingers, you can see they are circular in shape, and we have 3 grips in each finger. 3 grips in each finger you can see from your right hand. So this thumb we have to keep at right angles to the grip of the fingers. Such that the curvature of the fingers represents the direction of the current. What does these curvatures, what does these circular loops of your fingers, they represent the current. The current is flowing in these circular loops. Then the thumb of the right hand will point in the direction of the magnetic field near the center of the loop. So the direction of the magnetic field at the center of the loop can be upwards or downwards depending upon the direction of the current. Depending upon if it is say clockwise, then it will be upwards, and if it is anti-clockwise in the circle loop, then it will be downwards. Thank you. See you again, inshallah.